Have you ever thought about teaching your kids, 10 to 18-year-old marketing and sales? Folks, if you are in small business or you are an entrepreneur, frankly, if you're a human being, lots of life is sales and marketing. I just heard that a good friend of the channel, Mr. Bill Allen, has started a 3-day challenge for kids. And I've got all kinds of questions. Let's figure out what's going on. Bill, what the heck are you doing, man?
Well, I'm trying to unbreak the school system maybe, or just give them a supplement, or like supplement it with like some real world stuff of I mean, legitimately today, I started this challenge today. I asked these kids, do they understand supply and demand, or have they ever heard of this? And half of them shaking their head no. One kid was like, never heard of it. I was like, how old are you? He's like 11. I'm like, you're 11 years old and never don't understand how supply and demand works. Like, it's like, what are they teaching you in school? So, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, this is actually fantastic timing because I do believe most kids now have started summer break, so it
yeah,
makes perfect sense. And I just think it is such a wonderful thing you've done. You obviously have your a passion around helping kids, helping folks kind of break cycles. And I know you just completed day one of the 3-day challenge. So why don't you break down, why don't you reminisce, why don't you talk about what happened in day one, what your personal goal was, and we'll kind of tease out day two and day three. Because I think this is the stuff that needs to happen. If you are
yeah.
successful and you tell yourself you are, we should be trying to help the next generation. So what was day one all about? How did it end up?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, everybody that I talk to that's come into like my mastermind or flips houses or wholesales houses that I know is always the first slide they ever show is like, this is my why, is their family, right?
Mm,
And they're all doing this for their family. And so why don't we just like go down to the source and just help teach the family so that they can provide for themselves, you know? Like all of us, we want our floor to be like our kids floor to be our ceiling, you know, just kind of like
right.
raise them up that way. So why not just like we can just raise the ceiling of the kids right now, or raise their floor, I guess, right now. So the first day, I just wanted them to understand that they could flip anything. So the name of the challenge is this flip anything challenge. And because it's really hard to get across to even parents or kids that they could potentially flip a house.
Right.
So I got started flipping candy, and then it was baseball cards, and then I realized I was flipping my time for money forever. And then I flipped cars, I flipped an airplane, I flipped some boats. Like I basically just tried to turn $1 into $2. However, and then it was wholesaling houses, flipping houses, apartments, all those things. And so I wanted the kids to understand that it's possible to flip all kinds of stuff. So I just gave them a quick like intro to who I was for the first 10 minutes or so, and all the different things that I flipped, showed them pictures of like me painting my car and fixing it up and then supercharging it in the driveway and then fixing it up and driving it for a while and then selling it for a profit. And just those kind of things. And then I talked about supply and demand, like I talked about earlier. Kids did not even understand that. I mean, some of them started saying like, "Oh, I want to sell this. I want to sell like stuffed animals and things." I'm like, "Okay, let's look. Let's look and see how much supply of stuffed animals are on Facebook Marketplace and eBay right now, and then let's look at the demand for that, and let's look at the comps." So I started teaching them comparables of any product, and I was like, "You $1 for 50 stuffed animals in this basket is what's
Mm,
selling. You're not going to make $100 flipping stuffed animals. That stuffed animal probably costs your parents $20. You're going to sell it for 10 cents." So
right.
this devalues very quickly. Let's find something that holds its value, something that has some worth to you, and that would accept the time. And so teaching them some of that, I showed them some examples of things that I had flipped on Facebook Marketplace in the past, like strollers and things that I found in my garage and up in our attic. Over Christmas, I cleaned out my garage and I sold this stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I made like 400 bucks. And then I gave my son the assignment to go find something in the attic to sell. He found my wife's old espresso machine that had been there for a year that she doesn't use anymore. And he sold that for $550 on Facebook Marketplace. And so retails for $850, sold it for $550. And I let him keep a percentage. He didn't get to keep all of it because he didn't negotiate it. He didn't come with me at the sale. There's some things he didn't do. So I was like, buddy, I'm
Right.
going to dock you for this.
Right.
And he wanted to play video games, hang out with his friends. I was like, all right, dude, you just lost $100. Could
There
have
you go.
bought a video game. And so his choice. But he made, like $300 from that he put in his pocket and got to go use. And then I taught him a percentage to save, a percentage to give, and a percentage to him to invest, give, and spend.
Yeah.
And then we put his money in investment. So that's what I taught the kids today was supply and demand, how to look at comparables, what are some things that they could sell. And I'm a day ahead of them. So I already pulled some things from my attic. I was showing it to them. I got this bassinet right here next to me that I'm going to sell
Yeah.
on eBay or Facebook Marketplace tomorrow. So tonight we clean it up. And then tonight I'll create the listing, and tomorrow I'll show up with all my listed items. I'll show them how to take pictures, how to title it, how to market it properly. And so
Yeah.
that's what we did today. It was like, what kind of items could you flip? Give me some in the chat. Let me tell you if those are good or bad items. What are some things you should sell on eBay and Mercari and some of these other sites that you could ship instead of big bulky items that you don't want to have a bunch of packaging and handling and shipping. So just teaching them that stuff that they could flip anything. And so
Yeah. That's
that was day
amazing.
one. And then
That's
the
amazing.
goal for them, you asked the goal. The goal is to make at least $100 this week. And first week of summer for a lot of these kids, let's go out and make $100. And
There you
then let's
go.
figure out how to take some of that to spend, and then let's reinvest that back in your business
Yeah.
of whatever you want
It's
to do this summer.
it's really funny because I've been trying to communicate to adults that getting wealthy is remarkably simple. I'm going to give you the 3 steps, but it also plays with what you're teaching 10-year-olds. So step 1 for me is you have to create disposable income. Now, there's only 3 ways to do that. Make more, spend less, do both. That's it. But step 2 is what you're starting to teach now is you have to become elite at something. Like just think about what you just talked about. If you become elite at flipping cars or elite at baseball cards or elite at something, once you're elite, why is being elite important? Because you understand value and value quickly. You understand where supply and demand is. You understand where that baseball card is unique because it's a limited edition print or it's one of a few that are gem mint 10 or whatever. Once you start understanding value and your elite, your ability to build real wealth, it doesn't have to be houses. It doesn't have to be apartment buildings. It can be planes or cars. It does help if the sticker price is high. That way you get paid for your eliteness. And then the last step, just to round it out, is do it for a decade. It's be patient. It takes time to just snowball all of this stuff. So I'm so impressed that you're bringing this to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, number 2 is interesting because I brought up something. I said, hey, to the kids, I said, who here likes to study?
Mm-hmm.
And because I was studying, I realized what we were doing is I was studying the other listings when I was looking.
Exactly.
In fact, I had this pack and play that I know I'm going to sell, and I was like looking at the what's available. So I looked at all the supply that was out there. There's a ton of supply. Within 10 miles of me, there's like 50 of these things for sale. And we started looking at the images, started looking at them. I didn't want to go too deep with them on the actual listing, but they were garbage, like horrible listings. And then I looked at the sold comps. It's like what is sold in the last week or so. And I started to see these that were sold. I saw some patterns and I started showing them. I'm like, you see this one that was a picture of the pack and play, then it was a picture of somebody's foot, and then it was a picture of a TV with some video games on it. Like that was the listing, the sale listing. I was like, why is this woman's foot in this picture? The pack and play wasn't even in the image. It was her foot. And I was like, that's not going to sell. That's weird.
No, that's
And the
weird.
kids are like, totally weird. It's creepy. And so then I showed
That's
the other
creepy.
listing, the nice one. Like it's
Yeah,
well, the good picture. They got some distance, can show it in use, like, cleaned up. And I said, guys, what I'm doing right now is I'm studying the market. I'm studying it.
exactly.
I understand it. And I said, who likes to study? They're like, no, 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 no. So there's a couple who are like, yes, a couple kind ofs. And I was like, well, would you guys be interested in studying if the outcome was you can make a lot of money and you could be able to take trips or buy what you want or do the things that you want to do? And they were like, yes, then I would. And I think that's the problem that we have right now is these kids know that they have to study, they have to take these tests, they have to learn these things. It's rote memorization, it's arithmetic, it's spelling, it's all that stuff, but they don't understand the outcome of being studious.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
and so
Yep.
they don't get
Yep.
excited about being studious. It's not cool to be studious because they're like, how is this going to help me in life? Like learn like who the presidents were or how to spell these things or how to do some math. And so hopefully what we did today was I say, look, and I realized like saying the word study and saying the word homework to them, is not getting them excited in their summer break. So
No, yeah, I would
my
strongly
marketing
suggest new
needed to change.
vocabulary. Yeah, new
Yeah.
vocabulary coming. So it's funny when you're saying that. And I talk to adults. I love the fact that you're taking on the challenge of kids. It's so amazing. I would turn it into research. You're researching because that's fun. That's like whenever I read, like I was a horrible student, never studied, never read a book, all that stuff. But boy, you want to see me geek out on something? I would research it, and I would just in time. The magic of getting a lead at something, kind of step two, is when you're in it, time disappears. That's the magic. That's the thing. If you can find a passion, classic cars, Mustangs, Air Jordan shoes, whatever it is, if you're digging deep into listings and actuals and solds and time disappears, that is your thing. Go deep, go hard. I mean, Gary V, he starts off as the wine guy, right? Let's celebrate your uniqueness. If your uniqueness is Air Jordan shoes, go ham, go hard. Just let time disappear. I think that's the magic. And for me, that was single family homes, but it could be anything.
Yeah. One thing, what I wrote down is if you can pick something you're already in love with,
Exactly.
like that you would just totally just research and study and do for free, it's game changing. Like I
Yeah, I
had
would.
no interest in
Yeah,
reading some of the books that they assigned me in English class. Like
no
I
chance.
couldn't read it. Like I could not get into it. And I was a pretty studious kid when it came to math and science because I was like, dang, this is, I don't know. It's just maybe it's because it came easier for me. It just came a lot easier. But
Yeah.
if they were like, you know, go like we built an electric car in high school at my technology magnet school. So
Nice.
for half the day, I got to go to this shop down the road and we built an electric car. I was doing fiberglass and in the paint booth and stuff. It's all the stuff that I love to do. Like I love cars at that time.
Right.
So I mean, when you were talking about caster and camber and suspensions and all that stuff, I was like nerding out on it. I would research that stuff for free, even if I wasn't
Yes.
being paid, and do it on the side for fun. And so
Exactly.
that's where I was kind of pointing the kids today is like, they're like, what should I flip? Like, well, what do you love? Like, if you love
Yes.
shoes, just like you said, then go on. Like, you already know what a good, you can go to the thrift shop and you can see the shoes that somebody's selling for 20 bucks that you know is worth 100. Then do that. You're not
Buy the
doing anything.
shoes.
Yeah. Just buy
Yeah.
them and sell them online. Totally. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if I look at those shoes, I'm like, I don't know. Are those good Jordans? Are they crappy? Are those like the
Are
Panda
they
Dunks
fake?
right
Are
there?
they
Everybody
fake?
hates them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fake, all that stuff. Like,
That's the magic. And for me as a kid, it was just baseball cards, right? And then it's funny, I did baseball cards, and then I started buying used bikes because the sticker price was higher, right? I
mm,
would buy a used bike, I would clean it up, I'd break it all down, I'd put it back together, and I'd double the money. And it's you just if you could find that, and I think 10-year-olds, certainly 15 or higher, they have a hobby that they've been into for years. And if we could just double down on like that's money making, you can make money doing that.
yeah,
I think that's magical.
for sure. They can figure out how to monetize some of that stuff. Monetize the knowledge really and the time that they put into it. That's the key. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, dude, day one sounds like a huge success. What do you got for day two? What does day two give us a rough
Well, so
outline?
yeah, so day two, I will have created my listings tonight, have them listed on Facebook Marketplace for the things. I'll probably sell 4 or 5 things that we already pulled from the attic this weekend. And then so I'll have cleaned them up tonight. Me and my son, my 9-year-old son. He turns 10 tomorrow, so he'll be 10 tomorrow, 9 today. And we'll clean them up. We'll take pictures of them. We'll put the listings up there. I'm actually going to do one that's kind of bad, and I'm going to do a bunch that are good, and I'm going to
Okay.
see if they can tell me what's going on. Like
Oh,
I
I
want to see
like it.
if they can see that that's bad. Now I haven't taught them anything really about listings except for a little bit today, but I'll title them. We'll write the description. We'll do some of the research tonight of, what else is out there and make ours look different. And then because they'll be tomorrow, I'll be able to share my screen and show them in a sea of other listings that are similar products and say, why does mine look different? Do you think it's going to sell?
So
And
these challenges are weeks apart. They're day, today,
yeah,
tomorrow,
three
the
days,
next day.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Wow, you're not playing
Yeah.
around. Okay. I like keeping
No,
their attention.
yeah, I would have done a 5-day challenge, except I have a event and a trip that I'm doing on Thursday and Friday with my wife. So we had to make it 3 days. And I was like,
3 days.
I don't know if I can pack this into 3 days, man. But so tomorrow's about marketing. It's about the description. It's about the listing. It's about the images and talking about that. And then the other thing is I had them, they all have to go find a product themselves tonight. So their assignment tonight, their in the field exercise was to, I said homework at first today, and they all kind of looked at me like, and one girl put in the chat, are we going to have homework every day? And I was like, okay, homework's probably the wrong word to
Yeah,
use here.
bad word,
I'm like,
bad word.
sorry. Yeah. So I changed that. And so their assignment today is to go out and find something that they can sell. So work with their parents to look in their attic, look in their garage, something like that has value, do the research, and come back tomorrow with it. And if they have any questions, they can send it to me tonight. I will do a bunch of research for them, and then I'll bring some examples to help them tomorrow. I mean, we have like 300 people in this, like families.
Wow.
It's not like 10 kids. So it was a lot. It was exciting today, blowing up the chat. They were all involved. I couldn't even answer all the questions. It was wild. So tomorrow's about marketing, titling, and teaching them that stuff. Like, what's a good hook? What is a good description? What does a good images look like and why? And when you're going to flip this stuff, like that's how people buy. They buy with their eyes. They buy with the story, and storytelling and all that stuff is what we're going to go in tomorrow. So all marketing tomorrow.
Very, very cool. And then what? Day 3 is the close and delivery, or what are we doing day 3?
Yeah, so day 3, so my expectation is that with my listings, I've gotten messages from people about it. We'll be negotiating it. I might have sold something already. And so I want to show them kind of like, this is what a scam message looks like. This is what a real message looks like. This is where you spend your time. This is how you research the person that's sending you the message. Like, who are they? Are they local? Is it a scam? All this stuff. Like, you're just going to get is this available? Is this still available? Is this still available thing on Facebook Messenger? And so just understanding how that works, how to negotiate, how to sell it, when to adjust your pricing, when to stay firm on the price, what kind of things to say, what talk tracks in sales and negotiation. So that's going to be day 3. And hopefully I will have sold something or at least have an appointment set up. But I have previous stuff that I sold recently that I'll tell stories about, and I can show them examples of other scammers and things like that I reported
Yeah,
to Facebook and stuff. Just things to watch out for, like,
absolutely.
hey, can I sell you the money, or typical scams and things that they could see online that I've seen in the past. So stuff like that. Really, day 2 marketing, day 3 sales and
That's
negotiation.
that's awesome. And again, the whole goal of this is to really help kids understand that they can take really some ownership. They can actually produce money,
Yeah.
income. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and just show them that, like, you really can't flip anything if you're, and really that's what everything is. Like, I mean, in the grocery store, you got people that are in the middle, you got wholesalers, you got people
Yep.
that are marking things up. Everything is just a markup. You got wholesale cars, you got wholesale real estate, I mean, it's all a big game of the best marketer, the best salesperson who makes the most money,
Yep.
regardless of what business it is. So it's like the core of everything. It's just understanding that. And I think everybody kind of got to start flipping something at some point,
Yeah.
you know?
I like it. I like it. I love what you're doing. I love your passion for helping the next generation. If somebody wanted to reach out, learn a little bit more about you or what you're doing, where do we send them?
Well, our 7-figure flipping is the real estate side, and then we have this program for kids called Teenage Tycoon. And
There
so
you go.
I don't know if you want to drop a link in the chat, but
Sure.
in the comments, but we have a page there, and we have an event coming up on June 19th and 20th, which is really what this is about, is driving people to that 2-day workshop to see if their kids are even interested in this. Like, do the challenge. Are the kids interested? Do they want to see it? And then at that 2-day workshop, we are doing like a full-on simulation for these kids and scenario where they're going in 4 hours, they're going to go through like 14 years of life in
Ooh.
picking a profession, investing in real estate, investing in the stock market. They have to have living expenses, and whoever has the highest net worth at the end wins a prize. And so actually, like, taking them through 2 days of setting them up for this game that we're playing
I like it.
and seeing who wins, and then taking through the winners and the losers of a case study, real time, to see what that's like. So I think that's what I'm so excited for, is like this challenge is like setting up for that big 2-day workshop in Franklin, Tennessee.
I like it. I love it, man. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yeah, see ya.